Hello everyone. Today's topic is digestive system in human. What is a digestive system? Before going to the topic, let's answer a few questions. How do the machines run in the factories? How do the vehicles run on road? How do we cook food in the kitchen? Well, the answer is we need electricity to run machines in the factories. We need fuels such as diesel, petrol, CNGs, solar energy, electric energy to run the vehicles on road. We need LPG gas stove, induction or microwave to cook the food in the kitchen. What does all these answers indicate to? We need some sort of energy or fuel which can run the machine smoothly and perfectly for a long time in its best condition. Likewise, we need fuel or energy to run our human body too. Now, the question is, how and from where do we get this energy from? The answer for where do we get the energy is from the food we eat. And the answer for how the energy is obtained is within us. We human bodies are one of the most amazing creations of God, and the human body has one of the most complex structure which has a mechanism for converting food into energy. And the parts in the human body that performs this activity are collectively called as the digestive system, and the activities performed by them are absorption, assimilation and excretion. Here are the parts of the digestive system. It comprises of the mouth, the esophageal tract, which is behind the trachea, the stomach, the liver, gallbladder, beneath the liver. Below the stomach, we have pancreas, the leaf-like structure. The small intestine is divided into three parts: the duodenum, the jejunum, the ileum, which opens into the large intestine. We have caecum, ascending colon, the transverse colon, descending colon, heading towards the rectum, and then the anus. The digestive system, that is, the whole passage along which food passes through the body from mouth to anus during digestion, are also named as the alimentary canal, the gastrointestinal tract. So, never wonder if you come across these names. It's nothing but the digestive system. It is so called because the digestive tract from the mouth to the anus is a long tubular structure measuring 9 meters in length. Let's begin to understand the process of digestion. It begins in mouth. The food we intake is broken down into smaller pieces with the help of our teeth. As we all know, an adult have 32 specialized teeth: the incisors to bite the food, the canines to tear the food, the premolars to break down the foods into bits, and the molars to grind the food. The tongue is a voluntary muscle which helps in moving the food towards the teeth, hence allowing efficient mechanical processing. The salivary glands beneath and back of the tongue secrete saliva. Saliva helps in the chemical digestion of the food. The enzyme amylase in saliva breaks down the carbohydrate into glucose. And the liquid nature of saliva helps the tongue to swallow the grinded food. Remember, intake of food is known as ingestion, and the mechanical work done by our specialized teeth is known as mastication. The grinded food then enters into the pharynx, moving towards the esophagus. The epiglottis sphincter blocks the trachea in order to avoid the entrance of food into the windpipe. Through a peristaltic movement, the grinded and partially digested food passes through the esophageal tract into the stomach. Here we have an esophageal sphincter which allows the food to enter into the stomach. Now, the distance from the mouth till the esophageal sphincter is around 40 to 45 centimeter only. Once the food enter into the stomach, the partially digested food further gets digested by the gastric juices such as hydrochloric acid, pepsin secreted by the stomach. It breaks down the protein into amino acids which can be easily absorbed by the intestine. Once the mixture of digested food is capable of getting absorbed by the intestine, it is allowed by the pylorus sphincter to enter into the duodenum. Some interesting facts of the stomach are: it secretes approximately 2 liters of the gastric juice at a time in the sac. The lining of the stomach protects it from being damaged by the acidic nature of the juices. The hydrochloric acid also helps in killing microorganisms or pathogens which have entered into the stomach through food. The excess secretion of gastric juices due to some malfunctions can cause peptic ulcer forms. Heredity, smoking, and excess alcohol consumption can worsen the condition. Often fasting can also damage the lining of the stomach, as the feel of hunger or smell of food initiates the secretion of the hydrochloric acid, which when not fed can harm the mucosal lining of the stomach. The food remains in the stomach for 3 to 4 hours and then moves to the small intestine, the duodenum. The small intestine measures 7 meters in length. It is folded and curled within a limited area in the abdominal region. It has distinct 3 parts named duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. Most of the chemical reaction takes place in the duodenum, and absorption and assimilation of nutrients from the food takes place in the jejunum and the ileum. The inside of the intestine has finger-like projections called villi. These villi push the food forward and performs one of the most important functions by absorbing the nutrients and draining them into the bloodstream. The duodenum in detail. We have about 9 liters of liquid flowing into the duodenum every day. The bile juice from the liver and the pancreatic juice from the pancreas are secreted into it through a duct. The bile is used to break down fat or lipids into fatty acids, and the pancreatic juice aids in the breakdown of proteins, lipids, and carbohydrates. It produces hormones such as insulin, which helps to regulate the blood sugar level. The pancreas also produces sodium bicarbonate, which helps to neutralize the stomach acids which have been drained into the duodenum. Therefore, the most of the chemical digestion takes place in the duodenum. Now, the food enters into the jejunum and ileum. And by now, all the digested food would have been converted into the simplest form wherein the intestine can absorb. That is, the carbohydrates would have been converted to glucose, the proteins into amino acids, and the fats into glycerol and fatty acids. Now the villi drain these nutrients into the bloodstream and push the unwanted waste food further into the large intestine. The large intestine now receives the material left over from the chemical digestion, that is basically nutrient free. Only water, cellulose, and undigestible materials are left. The main function of large intestine is to absorb the water and minerals from the materials left. The villi quickly remove water from large intestine and returns them to the bloodstream. The leftover solid waste passes through the colon and reach the rectum, which is also called as holding area for the undigested material. Eventually, the descending colon becomes full and stool passes into the rectum, causing an urge to move the fecal matter and finally excreted through the anus. The whole large intestine is 1.5 meter in length. In the whole process of digestion, the digested food in every stages are being named as bolus, chyme and chyle. The digested food in the mouth is called bolus. Chyme is the acid fluid passing through the stomach to the intestine. Chyle is the milky fluid containing fat droplets which drains into the lymphatic system. While speaking to you about chyle, I realized that I need to share the function of villi to you again just to emphasize on chyle. As you all know, villi absorbs the nutrients and drain them into the bloodstream. This is 100% right, but a small thing needs to be explained over here about chyle. That is, the chyle is basically the milky fluid containing fat droplets. So, that is drained into the lymphatic system through the lacteal for further processing and ultimately again drained into the bloodstream. By this, we complete the topic. I hope you would be able to answer the question, what is digestive system? To change ingested food into a form that can be used by the cells, to get the nutrients into the bloodstream, to reabsorb water, and to eliminate waste. Thank you for watching.